Okay, so this Saturday morning action cartoon review comes from Dil Karen, and I hope I pronounced it right. Now, I'm gonna be honest here, I'm not too knowledgeable about Bakugans itself because I was already in high school, which means I was of the age where I was too old to watch these Pokemon type of animes made to sell merchandise to kids. However, after watching several episodes and doing some research to learn more about the show itself, I can say it's enough for me to give an opinion on this show. So, what do you see when card games begin to reign around the sky? Do you see the convoluted battles involving marvels and strategies take place? Or do you see everybody treat Bakugan like it's a game? Moreover, this is what happens when you are one of the Bakugan players. You just can't turn around and take conflict involving Fate Vestoria just as a game. Well, I could barely remain straight throughout the human characters were animated in a way that is barely consistent throughout the show, if there is any at all. The battles has a fair share of stock materials as well, especially if it's a cut involving throwing a Bakugan around. But heck, the Bakugan themselves look more detailed and more consistent, and even that can't save the basic detailed backgrounds. The beams blurring in this show are something that a kid could use to Photoshop. If there is actual animation, I would say that there are about 3 seconds of throwing your Bakugan as stock footage and the battles with the element animation effects. Or did I mention the human designs? Then we get to the sound of the show. And oh boy, enjoy your ears with a lot of retarded acting in the way. No one could remain straight-faced even with its retarded moment. And the music, nah, there are some good tunes, but that's all I'll describe for now. Now we get to the story and the characters. Now, it was considered original in its time. However, it's also nonsensical, too convoluting, and its pacing is too fast to the point to where you don't even know what's happening anymore. Let me sum it up for you in case you did not understand what this series was about. Vestoria is a dimension when Bakugan species originated, within each of its own element in its own universe. Some doom being Naga that the idea of fusing both the sources since they are imbalanced anyways, and Drago questions his actions. Unfortunately, that was not enough to stop Doom being as he formed the Silent Core, which is the full negative energy, and the Infinity Energy, which is full of positive energy, so that he can create the perfect core and form a balanced Vestoria. The cards reign all over the place with special powers, and Dan has the idea to create a game called Bakugan along with his friends. From there on, they would establish the rules. They would even receive their own Bakugan. They could battle using their own strategy as long as the rules see fit. Looks complicating at first, but it all comes down to playing games. And of course, there's this Doom Dimension card, which is a dimension where the Bakugans are trapped forever with no point of return. We are told that this isn't just a game, yet it looks just like it. It's like screaming, this is going to be one of the most complex plots, and is going to unravel itself soon, and shit is going down, etc. Unfortunately, I do not take claims for such scams. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're battle brawlers, right? And you expect they take the thing seriously if you knew what was behind the Vestoria dimension, and what caused the cards to magically fall upon the sky, but nope. They can even waste time on this Bakugan game rather than doing something useful to their lives. Which they do, but since they focus on their Bakugans, it's impossible to tell. And the development is very random to the point it doesn't even exist at all. And also, don't expect intelligent strategies on some battles either. It's all attacking, switching, thinking, and that is all it takes for a battle to win. Now, for my final verdict, look, it had a much bigger impact overseas. What is with kids playing Bakugan games in real life and stuff that spawned its own merchandise? Yet, it does nothing to recover its unfammy after poorly done anime merchandise. But at least it had some sense of characters and appearances. And the dragons arguably look more consistent than the crappy human animations, but overall, this series is not good. The show itself lacks substance, depth, and common sense when viewed through the eyes of an adult. But for a child, these traits do not contribute to a good show. They contribute to a bad show that requires more brain power to understand and enjoy. Bakugan, taken at face value, is a very poor show clearly designed to push toys to children. However, it does this extremely well. It has done pretty well for itself in the toy sales, and the show itself definitely accomplished that. There are better kids' animes out there. It's just not for me, honestly. Bakugan Battle Brawlers gets a 5.8 out of 10. This is Red Wolf signing out, and I'll see you next time. Peace.